Let's create the bottom area here in a separate struct, so we can also practice how to use different structs in a same view and transfer the information in between them. So right after my login view preview, I'm going to create a struct called this sign up view. This is going to be conforming to a protocol view, and here of course I need var body, which is going to be some view. Okay, so what our body will have is a vstack, because let's see what we have here. We want to have a vstack that we can put everything inside, so we can also add a padding key, all this space here. But apart from that, we want to have a horizontal stack, so we can put one item next to another. So we have our vstack, and let's put end of vstack here. Then I will put a spacer, so it pushes everything down. And then I will create a hstack, and let's put some spacing here. Spacing, let's put 8, everything else I just delete. So again, I will put end of hstack here. And in my horizontal stack, I have two things, a label and a button. So let's create this label, which is text. And my text is going to say don't have an account, which is a question. And let's put foreground color to be color.gray, and let's add some opacity of 0.5. So this will be my text, and then I want to have a button next to it. So I will put a button, and my button will have an action and a label. And the label is going to be text. Sign up. And let's set a foreground color to be blue. And after my hstack, I want to add some padding, and I want padding from top to have 25. So let's see how we can actually display whatever we just created inside our view. So if I scroll up, and right after my end of button here that we had 45 padding, I can say sign up view, and this should bring it here. Let me just resume. And you can see it brings everything into our view and pushes our main view up. And what's good about this is, you see, when we have just built a few things here, but our code is already getting really long, and it's confusing once you start scrolling. What you can do is just to separate them into small structs, and then have less things in your body here. So it's easier for you to read, because you see the whole part here is just says struct now, and you can come here into a sign up view and see what's going on here in the breaking down into small blocks, so you don't have to scroll all the way and you can't even understand what finishes where. So we are using all these marks here. So action of our button. What we need as an action is to toggle something that will refresh all the user interface inside our main area here, which is our login view. So remember, before we used something called binding, but for us to use this, first of all, we need to have a variable inside our login view, and luckily we already have this variable. It's called showing sign up, and here we have an if statement, and if somebody clicks it, something will change here. But right now there is no button that actually can click it, so we need to use this binding in order to assign this sign up button to make changes inside our view, which is in a different struct here. So remember how we do that. We just go to the newly created struct, and I'm going to create a bindable object. So I say add binding. And call this showing sign up. Remember, you can call this anything you want, and this is a type of Boolean. So once we have this showing sign up, you will get an error first of all, because you need to initialize it properly. But before I go there, what I want to do is finish with this struct, and whenever my button is clicked, I want to say self.showing_signup.toggle. So we switch the value of it. And now, in order to fix our error, because we are initializing a sign up view, we need to set what this binding is related to, and we want to link it with our showing sign up here. So I'm going to remove my parentheses, put it again, and this will auto complete for me. And it tells us that we need to provide a showing sign up, which is a binding Boolean. And here I need to provide my to put my $sign first, and then say showing sign up. So technically, if I run this, and let's just resume first. So if I click on show sign up, hopefully, yeah, you can see it adds and removes my repeat password, and see how it just instantly happens. So what I want to do is to add some kind of animation to it. So let's go to our end of vstack here, where we have padding 15, and I'm going to add an animation, and let's put an animation of ease out with duration of 0.1 second. So look what happens now when I click it. It comes, appears, and disappears in much smoother way, so it doesn't just cut off. Now this is how our animation works, and you can see that our binding variable works with our current state that we have in our struct as well. So sign up is working, but what we need to update is actually our button title as well. So let's scroll down to our title, if I can find it. It's right here. So it says sign in, but we want to depend this from our showing sign up. So I will say showing sign up question mark. So this is like very short if statement, and then we say sign up Otherwise, if it's false, we say sign in. So now it's sign in and I click sign up. It will turn sign up and it will add also repeat password. And if I click again, it will remove and the title will be sign in. Another thing we need to do is in our button action. So depending what we have, sign in or sign up, we want to call different functions. So let's, after our body, let's put end of body here. I'm going to create two functions, private func login and private func register. Let's call it sign up user, and instead we call login user. Okay, so we have two functions. What we want here, instead of printing sign in clicked, let's check the status of our showing sign up. So I say showing sign up, and we need a self keyword here. Then if it's showing sign up, I want to say self dot sign up user. Otherwise we want to log in, so we say self dot login user. So this is our dynamic button action depending on what our user is currently seeing in a user interface. So it's sign in or sign up. And these two functions are going to do our login or registering for our user.